Hello everyone, it's Hannah here from Virtually Fluent, and today we are covering a pretty difficult pronunciation topic, which is consonant clusters. If you would like to practice this topic, we do have a supporting course. I've left the link to that in the description below. But before we get started, I must mention that you can follow us across all our social media pages. We have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. All the links are in the description below. Go ahead and follow us, like us, share us. I post lots of free content on a daily basis across these channels, so I really hope to see you there. Sixth. How many of you can say this word absolutely correctly? It's a really difficult word in English, and that's because we've got a whole consonant cluster right at the end of this word. So a consonant cluster is where we have two or more consonants written next to each other, and every single one must be pronounced. We do not combine the consonants together to create a new sound. That is something slightly different. In these words, every consonant must be pronounced. In English, we could potentially have up to 4 consonants written next to each other, and we need to pronounce every single one. But there are some other languages around the world that simply do not have this. Take Spanish, for example, where vowels are used a lot more often. So when it comes to tackling these words, trying to say these words in English, it can be really, really challenging. Being able to pronounce consonant clusters correctly is really important, because if you do not say a word correctly, you could completely change its grammatical form. The 3 most important situations are with plurals. So many students simply do not add that S at the end. Texts. Also in the present simple tense, particularly with the third person singular. He asks. And of course with our famous ed endings. We walked. If we do not pronounce these consonant clusters correctly at the end, we could change the tense, we could change the form, the conjugation of the word, and then we just sound like we're saying bad grammar in English, which is not true. So don't let pronunciation get in your way of sounding grammatically correct when you're speaking. Unfortunately, there's not a long list of specific consonant clusters. We could realistically put any 2 consonants, 3, or even 4 together, which leaves us with a really, really big combination of letters. The most common ones you tend to see are L, R, S, and T. Let's take a look at a few examples. With L, blue, clap, fly, glitter, please, slow. With S, disc, ask, small, snake, wasp, host, switch, 12. With T, daft, thirst, act, adapt. And with R, bright, crawl, draw, fry, grip, present, trip. Now one of the most difficult ones that I tend to find is when we have a th and then an S immediately after. We need to hear both of those separate sounds together. For example, months, froths, deaths, lengths, strengths, depths. Pretty tricky, but have a go and pronounce every single consonant. The same as th with R. Thr, thr, three, through, throw, threat, throat. Now let's take a look at some of the most difficult words in English that do have consonant clusters, such as sixth, sixth. We must pronounce every single consonant. 12th, 12th, crisps, crisps. Actually, this SPS ending is really common and very difficult. So definitely look out for some words with this sps ending. Texts, texts, tempts, tempts, desks, desks. Again, this SKS ending is really common, so look out for it. And ghosts, ghosts. Again, STS ending, really common. So you find a word, you can see the consonants all written down. How exactly do we go about it? So let's continue with this last example of ghosts. Now, the first thing is to break it down and practice saying every single consonant individually. Go s, t, s. Okay, I can say all of them individually. And then you just repeat again and again and again and try to say them as quickly as possible and connect them all together. Ghosts, ghosts. Something to be aware of is to try not to insert any extra vowels. Ghosters. You can hear an has been added there, and we shouldn't have that. So do not add any extra vowel sounds. And something to also be aware of is the correct spelling of these words, because if we have difficulty pronouncing these, or we hear a word, perhaps by another English learner with similar mistakes, when we go to write it down, we write it down incorrectly. There are so many times I've heard texts instead of texts with a T in there, and then people spell as T-E-X, and that's it, or with an S at the end, and that's completely incorrect. So you must learn the correct spelling as well as the pronunciation. So consonant clusters are a really difficult topic. There's not really a magic cure for you to pronounce them all correctly. Just break it down, listen to audios of native English speakers pronouncing these words correctly in videos, in individual audios. We have loads of these on our website. And of course, practice them. Drill the pronunciation, say it again and again and again until you become much more comfortable saying them in full conversation. We do have some worksheets and activities on our website to practice consonant clusters in our consonant clusters course. I've left the link in the description below. You should also go ahead and like today's video, leave us a comment if you learned something new, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn those notifications on so you know when I release a new video, which is on a weekly basis. And these are all about English vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, to help you feel a lot more confident speaking in English. This is Hannah from Virtually Fluent, bringing English to life.